unto the angry Lord Shiva, who is simultaneously the very ferocious great demigod and the fulfiller of all material desires. He is all auspicious and forgiving, but his anger can immediately move him to chastise. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Diti prayed for the mercy of Lord Shiva cleverly. She prayed, Lord can cause me to cry, but he likes he can also stop my crying because he is Ashutosha. He is so great that if he likes he can immediately destroy my pregnancy. But by his mercy he can also fulfill my desire that my pregnancy not be spoiled. Because he is all auspicious, it is not difficult for him to excuse me from being punished. Although he is now ready to punish me because I have moved his great anger. He appears like a man, but he is the Lord of all men. Next verse, I will say. Sana prasidatam bhamo bhagavan anugraha vadasyapi anukampyanam srinam deva satipatihi. Let him be pleased with us, since he is my brother-in-law, the husband of my sister Sati. He is also the worshipable Lord of all women. He is the personality of all opulences and can show mercy towards women who are excused even by the uncivilized countries. Lord Shiva is the husband of Sati, one of the sisters of Diti. Diti invoked the pleasure of her sister Sati so that Sati would request her husband to excuse her. Besides that, Lord Shiva is the worshipable Lord of all women. He is naturally very kind towards women, on whom even the uncivilized hunters also show their mercy. Since Lord Shiva is himself associated with women, he knows very well their defective nature, and he might not take very seriously Diti's unavoidable effects, which occur due to her faulty nature. Every virgin girl is supposed to be a devotee of Lord Shiva. Diti reminded her childhood worship of Lord Shiva and begged his mercy. Presents to Bhakti Vedanta. Om Ajnana Vinadasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuram Militamyena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamy Nityanamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshakarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So it's continuation of Diti's request for Lord Shiva's mercy. So she is offering prayers to Lord Shiva to excuse her in the activity whatever has happened out of requirement or out of emergency. So she is praying Namo Rudraya Mahate. I offer my respects to Lord Shiva, who is a great personality Mahate, but Rudraya is very angry. He is angry personified. Devayo Ugraya Vidusi. So he is a great demigod. He is the best of the demigod, but he is very ferocious, and he is fulfiller of all desires. Shivaya Nasta Thanda. He is all auspicious. He is forgiving also. Druta Dandaya Muhan. Druta Dandaya means someone who is an immediate chastisement. Someone who becomes very angry. If somebody displeases him, he becomes very angry and he becomes immediate chastisement. In a very cleverly, so that Lord Shiva might excuse her. She is invoking various personalities so that Lord Shiva might not get offended. Or she is trying to draw the attention of Lord Shiva through his favorite people. The last time we saw, through her husband, she was trying to invoke mercy of Lord Shiva because her husband was a great devotee of Lord Shiva. In the next verse, she is praying through her sister, Sati. So she is saying here, Saha Naha Prasidatam Bhamo, O brother-in-law, Bhamo, Saha Naha Prasidatam, please be satisfied with us, please be pleased with us. Bhagavan Uru Anugraha. You are the personality of all opulences, Bhagavan. But Uru Anugraha, you are very great, you are very merciful, you are very compassionate.
Vadasyapi anukampayanam. Like even hunters, Vadasyapi anukampayam, they are very compassionate towards women. Even what to speak of uncivilized hunters, they are very compassionate towards women. Srinam deva satih patihi. Because you are the worshipable Lord of the husband of Sati, so please be pacified upon me and my husband. Please protect my progeny. In that way, Diti was trying to pacify Lord Shiva. So generally, like Prabhupada says, if we have to draw the attention of a big man, so sometimes you have to go and pat his dog. Like Prabhupada gives his example. A rich man is there, he is going with a dog. So if you go and directly talk with the rich man, he may not be able to connect. But when you go there, when you start patting his dog, pet dog, so he feels, oh, my pet dog is taken care, so he becomes very pleased. So when Lord Shiva's personal associates are there, Diti is trying to satisfy Lord Shiva through the personal associates. Like for us, Shastra also says, like if you serve spiritual master, Lord Krishna becomes pacified. So through his beloved people, Lord's attraction can be gained upon. The same perspective, Diti is also using her sister Sati as an opportunity to connect to Lord Shiva. So generally Shastra says, there are certain kinds of people who are excused by great personalities, like kings also. The kings are supposed to give protection for all these category of people, like Brahmanas, cows, women, children, old and deceased people. Always they have to be protected. And Prabhupada says in some of the purports here, in context wise, of a devotee attitude of committing a mistake and begging forgiveness from the Lord, and a Vaishnava perspective. A devotee is always very understanding. If there is some discrepancy behavior on the part of some non-devotees, even some devotees misbehave, he is always very tolerant and understanding. Because people out of ignorance, they commit mistake. But when they have understood that they have committed mistake, they come forward and beg forgiveness for that mistake. In a sincere way, the devotee will excuse it. Because it is not done intentionally, it is done out of ignorance. And he has realized his intention. Alright, it is not, I am not supposed to do it, next time I will not repeat it. With a sincere heart, the Vaishnavas will excuse them. The mind should be trained to think of the welfare of the others. This is instruction for what Prabhupada says. Because if somebody does some bad to us, what will be the first reaction? We would like to think something bad to them. Ye tamam prapadyante. They think bad for us, we think bad for them. But Prabhupada is saying, our perspective is, Vaishnava perspective is, even somebody thinks bad for us, we should not think bad for them. Like for example, Suniti, she was saying to her son, Dhruva, my dear son, don't wish for anything inauspicious for others. Anyone who inflicts pain upon others suffers himself from that pain. So if you are trying to harm somebody, in the process you will be harmed. So better don't inflict pain upon others. It will come back to us. It's a boomerang. You try to hit somebody back, it will come and hit you back. Because karma it is. Don't become angry with the agent of your karma. This may not be exact, but don't become angry with the agent of your karma. Somebody might be responsible for me to suffer because he has become an agent of my karma. Because nothing comes free for me. If I am suffering, if I am enjoying, this is my own karma. So if somebody has become responsible for me to suffer, so it is my own karma, through him it is acting upon me. So we should not become angry upon him. The people are not the cause of my happiness and distress. Neither are the demigods, my own body, the planets, my past work or time. Rather, it is the mind alone that causes happiness and distress and perpetuates the rotation of material life. So what is past karma? I am suffering because my graha dosha is not proper, my astrology is not proper, or superior people are not merciful upon me. We always try to give that blame to somebody. We always pass on that credits to somebody. But a realized person says, no, all this is because of my own doing. What is my own doing? My mind has been contemplating on unnecessary things because of expectation, anticipation, and failures in the process. It is going into the cycle of this birth and death. So my mind is the cause of my suffering, not somebody else. Because happiness or distress are pursued by mind. Failing to conquer the irrepressible enemy, the mind, whose urges are intolerable and who torments the heart, many people are completely bewildered and create useless quarrel with others. Thus, they conclude that other people are either their friends, their enemies, or parties indifferent to them. So, it is a mind's reaction. So, mind's reaction will decide other person is my friend or is my enemy or a neutral person. So, in that way, if someone bites his tongue with his own teeth, at whom he was angry in his suffering. So, if somebody, when we become angry, what we do? We bite our tongue or we bite our lips. We are trying to show our anger. But who is getting punished? After some time, we will only get punished. So, anger is such a way that it destroys a personality. How? We lose our intelligence capacity. And we act in a gross platform and we will be harming our own self. Because activities done in tamoguna will lead to self-destruction. So, Diti is praying in consciously in sattva-guna. So, because activity, something has happened in ignorance. So, now she is come out of that ignorance and she is trying to request for mercy of Lord Shiva so that her embryo or progeny is protected. A devotee's conclusion is that no one is directly responsible for being a benefactor or mischief monger without the sanction of the Lord. So, nobody can help me or nobody can make me suffer unless the Lord sanctions. So, everything, whatever I am enjoying or suffering, it is because of the sanction of the Lord. So, therefore, he does not consider anyone to be directly responsible for such action. But in both cases, he takes it for granted that either benefit or loss is God sent, and thus it is his grace. So, whatever situation I am, it is the mercy of the Lord. He takes it in that mode and he is very happy for that perspective. Because Lord knows what is best for me at that particular moment, he sanctions. If I have to suffer, it is only thing is, if it is good activity, by enjoying good activity, we are decreasing our punya. By suffering problems, we are decreasing our papa. So, for a devotee, he is cleaning up his account. So, papa, punya, both are getting cleansed up. So, in that way, by the mercy of the Lord, he is becoming purified of his material reactions. So, similarly, in Bhagavatam, we see certain perspectives. When an incident happens, why that incident happened, only at the last we get clarity. Initially, we may be thinking, why Lord sanctioned? Why it happened to me only? When somebody else are there, why me? Like Parikshit Maharaj. When he was going around the world, he became thirsty and out of hunger. He approached the ashrama of Shamika Muni, where it is said that Shamika Muni was under meditation. He is not faking around. He is absolutely under meditation. He is a devotee of the Lord. Because he was under meditation, he could not recognize the king has come, because it is the duty of a guest to be taken care. A guest may be an insignificant person. But only thing is, you have to give him the due, due honor, due respect. So, the king, potentially, he is less than a great sage. But he is representing the Supreme Lord in the material world. He has to be honored with certain possibilities. He has to be given a place to sit. He has to be given a water to drink or some fruits to honor. So, basic etiquette. So, Parikshit Maharaj became little frustrated that he could not get a proper reception from the sage. So, out of frustration, he picked up a dead snake which was around there, and he had made it like a garland and put it onto the neck of Shamika Muni, and he went away. Then after some time, he realized, what I have done? That devotee is meditating. He is not that he is faking that I have come, so I have to be given respect. So he is not faking around. When somebody is in meditation, how can they receive me? So I have done something grievously. I am not supposed to do that. See, in that purpose, Prabhupada writes, pure devotee, generally, they are free from these bodily necessities. Free from hunger, thirst, all these bodily necessities, they are generally not prone to these material elements. But why Parikshit Maharaj was placed in such a situation? So the entire chapter in every purport, Prabhupada writes, it is the will of the Lord. Almost some 20 verses purport, Prabhupada, every purport Prabhupada writes, it is by the will of the Lord the situation has arisen. Parikshit Maharaj was placed into that situation because the Lord wanted Srimad Bhagavatam to come out. So in that context wise, we will see some verses. What happened after Shamika Muni's son, Shrungi, when he cursed Parikshit Maharaj to die in 7 days. He came back and he was crying. And when he was crying, it attracted the attention of his father, whose meditation broke up. And he was asking his son what happened. In that perspective it says, Nishamya saptam atad arham narendram sabbrahmano na atmajam abhyanandat aho batatmaho mahad adyate kritam alpiyashi droha ururdamo drutaha. The Shamika Rishi, who is an experienced good Brahmana, did not approve of the actions of his foolish son, Shrungi. He said, Brahmano Nishamya. That father Brahmana, he heard what had happened. Narendram Saptam, the curse he had put on to the king, Parikshit Maharaj. Atad Arham, although he should never have been condemned like that. A king is beyond public jurisdiction. He is not to be compared like a common man. He is not to be treated like one among us. Because he was the best among the human beings. Nara Indra, Nrupa Indra. Sa Abhyanandat na Atmajam. He did not congratulate his son. Yes, you have done a very good activity. No. He condemned the activity of his son. You have done a grievous sin. On the contrary, he said, Aho Bata. He was repenting. Oh, what a kalas activity you have done. Mahadamho adyate kritam. You have done a great sinful activity today. Dratu uru damaha. He was awarded heavy punishment for alpiyashi drohaha. For an insignificant mistake, you have given the highest punishment. For a small mistake, you are giving the highest punishment. So this is the wrong done by my foolish son. Further he says, he points out the immature intelligence of the boy by giving 3 reasons. He says, Navain Rubir Naradevam Parakyam Samaptum Arhasi Avaipakva Buddhehe Yat Tejasa Durvisahena Gupta Vindanti Badrani Akuto Bayah Prajaha. He is saying, Avipakva Buddhe, oh boy with intelligence immature. The intelligence is not perfected. Avipakva, but like a fruit is not ripened. It is kacha. Your intelligence is also like kacha, avipakva. It is not ripened. And therefore, navai arhasi, you have no knowledge of what to be done, what not to be done. That the king, Naradevam Parakyam, he is the king who is the best among the human beings. He is as good as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Nrubir Sammatum, he is not to be placed on an equal footing with a common man. Praja Padrani Vindanti, the citizens of the state live in prosperity because Gupta Akuto Bayaha, because being protected by the king. Durvisahena Yat Tejasa, by his unsurpassable prowess. Because people stay protected because the king is controlling everybody. He is controlling the thieves and rogues so that we can peacefully sleep in the night. So the 3 perspectives he said was, he has no knowledge that the king is as good as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The king is the best of all human beings, never to be compared like a common man. The prosperity of the citizens depends upon the king's unsurpassable power. The protection of the people lies with the capacity of the king. These are the 3 reasons. Jai Shri Shri Radha Govinda Ki. You are immature. You could not understand this is the rule. These are the qualities of a good king. Then further he is instructing his son. He is saying, Alakshamane naradeva namni ratangapano ayam anga lokaha tadahi shaura prachuro vinakshyati arakshamano avivarutavat kshanat. He is saying, oh my dear boy, Anga, he is Ratanga Panav. He is like the Lord who carries the wheel of his chariot. He is represented as monarchical regime. Naradeva Namni Alakshamane. And when that monarchical regime is abolished, what happens? Ayam loka tadahi chaura prachuraha. The entire world becomes filled with thieves and rogues. Chaura prachuraha. Then Kshanat Vinakshyati. When it went, everything will be destroyed. In a moment, when everybody is a thief, what will happen? The entire society is destructed. Then Arakshamanaha, people will not be protected. Then Avivaruta Vat, it's almost like scattered lamps. If lamps are all at one place, there is a protection. If they are scattered in 100 direction, everybody is lost. So people becomes unprotected. So here, Shamikamani is saying, monarchical regime represents the Supreme Lord, who is known as Ratanga Pane. Because the king is a representative of the Supreme Lord, he carries the intention of Lord Krishna by making everybody devotees. By seeing that everybody following their respective duty and engage in devotion service. So he is a representative of the Supreme Lord. Because he has been trained by culture and devotional service and martial spirit, he becomes a perfect king. But abolishing the monarchical regime fills the whole world with thieves and which vanquishes the unprotected subjects. Next, what happens when the king, when there is no, when the citizens are unprotected, when the whole world is full of thieves, the result of the situation. Tadadyana papam upayati ananvayam yannasta natasya vashor vilumpakat parasparam gnanti sapanti vrinjate Pashun striyo arthan purudashavo janaha. So, abolishing monarchical regime leads to social disruption. How? How the society becomes destroyed? Yan nastad natasya, due to the termination of monarchical regime, when the king is lost, and vilumpaka janah pashor, and the plundering of the people's wealth is, people becomes plundered from their wealth. By whom? Purudasyavaha, by the thieves and rogues. Then ananvayam, there will be great social disruption. And parasparam gnanti sapanti, people will kill and become injured in the process of trying to protect their money from thieves and rogues. Either they could be killed or injured in the process. And pashun striyo arthan vrinjate, then animals will be stolen, money will be stolen, women will be stolen. Then Tadadyana papam upayati, and for all these sins, we will be responsible. Because he is taking that responsibility, the Brahmana is taking responsibility, because we have become the cause of destruction of this monarchical regime. We will be responsible for all these bad things to come. So, Shemika Rishi on behalf of Brahmana community feels responsible for all the sin incurred for killing monarchical regime. That's why he is saying, we will be the cause. So then, further, what will be the impact? Tadarya dharmaha praviliyate nrunam varnashramachara yatastrayi mayaha tato artha kamabi niveshita atmanam sunam kapinam iva varna shankaraha. So then, what happens? Tadan runam praviliyate arya dharmaha. People will systematically fall away from Sanatana Dharma rules and regulations. There is nobody to guide people to do, what not to do. No leader, no protector, no guide. So everything starts falling off from the system. So then, varnashramachara yutas. Then they, in respect to the qualitative engagements of caste and orders in the society, then the system fails. Trayi manaha, no Vedic injunctions to take care. Then, Atmanam tato ardha kama abhinaya vishta. People will be attracted to economic development for sense gratification. And as a result, Varna Shankaraha, there will be unwanted population. then it is like Iva Sunam Kapinam. It is like a civilization of the standard of dogs and monkeys. So then, after explaining the system, Shamika Rishi finally considered the greatness of Maharaj Parikshit by saying, Dharmapalo Narapatihi Satu Samrat Brahat Shravaha Sakshan Maha Bhagavataha Rajarishir Haya Medayat Shutrut Shramo Yuto Dino Na Eva Asmat Shapam Arhati. He is saying, Dharmapalo Narapatihi. He is the protector of religion. He is the maintainer of religion. Dharmapalaha. Nrupatihi. He is the emperor. Satu Samrat Brahat Shravaha. And he is famous. He is a pious king. And he is highly celebrated everywhere as a great personality in a great dynasty. He himself has been protected from his childhood by the Lord. Vishnu Rata, who is always protected by the Lord. So he is a celebrated personality, not a common man. Rajrishi, he is the best among the kings. Hayamedayat, he has conducted many horse sacrifices, Ashwamedha yajnas. Shutrut Shrama Yuto Dino. When he becomes carried away by hunger, thirst and fatigue, Dinaha, such like one who is become stricken by all these aspects, hunger and thirst. Na eva asmat shapam arhati. We are not supposed to curse him at that time. When somebody is hungry, when somebody has come for asking water, you are not giving water and you are cursing him. So what kind of activity it is? So here he is saying he is a pious king and he is highly celebrated and he is a first class devotee of the Lord. Bhagavatottamaha. And such a personality, when he has come for something, water or something, instead of giving water, we are giving them the curse. So it is not a respectful activity. So finally, Shamika Rishi is praying to the Lord, to the situation, and he is requesting forgiveness from the Lord for the situation. He is saying, Apapesha svabhrutyeshu balena apakva buddhina papam kritam tad bhagavan sarvatma kshantu barhati. He is saying, Apapeshu, one who is not sinful, svabhrutyeshu, one who is subordinate, balena anupakva buddhina, my boy, who is not mature or immature in his intelligence, papam kartum, he has done some sinful activity. Tad Bhagavan, my dear Supreme Lord, out of foolishness, my boy, who is only 8 years old, he has done some sinful activity which is not to be done. So therefore, Sarvatma Kshantum Arhati, you are there in heart of every living entities. Please forgive this boy because he has done out of ignorance. So on his behalf, I am praying you. So here in the purport, Prabhupada says, why did Lord arrange this situation? See, to curse a great Vaishnava, the opposite person becomes offended, he is supposed to suffer in hell. So by through a small boy's activity, where small actions of small boys are not treated seriously. Because this boy is taken as an instrument so that the Lord can excuse small boy because he is offenseless. Out of ignorance, that is being conducted. And Parikshit Maharaj also is placed in a situation where he can be renouncing the world and Bhagavatam he can take up. So in both ways, the person who has offended Parikshit Maharaj is also excused, and Parikshit Maharaj also does not take seriously because that person is a small boy. He cannot take revenge on that small boy. So in that way, the entire situation is managed by the Lord in such a way that everything is all auspicious, because somebody is punished. In the perspective, Parikshit Maharaj is punished for our benefit, so that Bhagavatam comes out. Or it is the will of the Lord so that Parikshit Maharaj will finish his life very soon in 7 days and he will go back home, back to Godhead. He need not wait for the end of the life. So in multiple ways, Lord had enacted this pastime in such a way that we all learn. That boy may be blamed for the situation. He has taken the responsibility because Kali Yuga started through Brahmanical destruction. Through Shringi it started. He has become an instrument in the hands of the Lord for Kali Yuga to progress. But the small boy's action are not taken seriously because it is done out of intolerance. It is done out of ignorance. So similarly, we also see here Sati, she is being prayed by her sister Diti. So we all see in 4th canto, Sati, daughter of Daksha, she committed suicide. What might be the reason for that? Bhagavatam explains one external reason, and in the another Puranas it gives the internal reason. Two categories perspective are there. Externally we see one situation, internally some other situation. What is that external situation? Daksha offended Lord Shiva. So when Lord Shiva was not invited for the sacrifice, so Sati, she wanted to go and question her father. So when Sati went there, she was asked by Lord Shiva, hey, don't go there. Where somebody has not invited you, where they do not respect your husband, where do not give value for your family. If you go there, you will get offended. There is every chance that you will die when you go there, because you will not be able to tolerate that insult. But Sati was very determined. She wanted to go there and she wanted to question her father. So when she went there, when her father neglected her and he was trying to not respond to her situation, she could not tolerate anymore. So she committed she self-immolated herself. She brought a fire out of herself and she self-immolated, because she doesn't want a body which has a relation with her father. So in that way, it became an activity where Sati passed away, then Lord Shiva becomes angry, then he will send his personified Veerabhadra there, when Daksha will be punished. All these activities had happened. Now what is the internal reason for this? In Padma Purana and other references it gives, Lord Shiva is greatest worshipper of Lord Ramachandra. So every day Lord Shiva is in meditation and he will be smiling. So Lord Parvati Devi asked him, so why are you smiling? He said, I am meditating upon Lord Ramachandra's activities. The pastime is happening, Ramayana is happening at that time, Lord Ramachandra was alive. So Sati will ask, you are saying that Rama is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. You see he is in the forest, he is lamenting for the loss of his wife. How he can be Supreme Personality of Godhead? So Lord Shiva explained to her, this is called as Vipralamba Seva. The Lord is enjoying in separation. You cannot understand the mood of the Lord. But Sati, she was not satisfied with that answer. She wanted to test Lord Ramachandra. So she changed her form exactly like Sita Devi and she came in front of Lord Ramachandra. So thinking that Lord Ramachandra will treat her as Sita Devi. But as soon as she came near Ramachandra, Ramachandra said, oh my dear Sati, how are you? Where is your husband? Why have you come alone? Why have you not come with your husband? So she became very surprised. I am fully like Sita Devi, but he is able to recognize that I am not Sita Devi, I am Sati. So then she begged forgiveness from Lord Ramachandra, she paid obeisances, she went back to her husband, Lord Shiva, and she explained the entire scenario. Then Lord Shiva says, see, Lord Ramachandra is my supreme worshipable Lord, and Sita Devi becomes my mother, and today you have accepted a form resembling my mother. So from today, I will not be able to treat you as my wife, I will treat you as my mother. So I cannot be with you like a husband and wife. Now this is the situation where Sati got, now she cannot be with her husband, because that particular body, if she is there, he will be treating always like a mother only. So when she left here and she went to Daksha's place, father is not treating properly. So in these various perspectives, she had to quit her body. Because when she quits her body, she can take one more form where she will come forward and she will be able to associate with Lord Shiva. So this is the perspective what we understand, why Sati had to commit self-immolation. So similarly, today is Lord Jagannatha's Rathayatra. So Sanatana Goswami had offered a prayer to Lord Jagannatha. In 5 verses, he offers his respects to Lord Jagannatha. We'll understand the mood of Sanatana Goswami. He says, Shri Jagannatha Niladri Shiro Mukuta Ratna He Daru Brahman Ganashyama Prasida Purushottamaha. He's saying, oh Lord Jagannatha, Niladri Shiro Mukutaha, you are the crest jewel of Niladri, like Jagannath Puri. O Supreme Person, whose form is spiritual, although it appears to be made of wood, Daru Brahman. Although it is made of Daru, but you are Brahman, you are the Supreme Personality. Ganashyamaha, your body is fully blackish like dark rain cloud. Prashida Purushottamaha, oh my dear Lord, please be pacified with me, please be satisfied with me, please be merciful to me. He's saying, Prafulla Pundari Kaksha, Lavabdi Tatamruta, Gutiko Dhara Mam Pahi Nana Bhoga Purandara. He's saying, your eyes, Prafulla Pundari Kaksha. Prafulla means which is blossom. When the lotus flower is fully blossom, that leaves petals are like representing your beautiful eyes, lotus eyes. And Lavabdi Tata Amruta, you appear to be nectar washed on the shore of the salt water ocean. Then Gutiko Udharamam Pahi, O monarch who enjoys multifarious lower pleasures, Nana Bhoga Purandara, and whose waist is decorated with pearls. Udara, Gutika, Udara. Udara means waist, Gutika means pearls, which come from the ocean. So your waist is decorated with pearl necklace. Please protect me, Pahimam. Nijadara Sudadayinam Indradyumna Prasadita Shubhadra Alona Vyagra Ramanuja Namostute. O Lord Jagannatha, you are pleased by the worship of King Indradyumna Prashidaha, and you grant to the devotees the prasada, the food offered to you, which appears to be nectar coming from your own lips. Adharamrita, Nija Adhara Sudha Dayinam. Then, O younger brother of Lord Balarama, Rama Anuja, who earnestly takes care of your sister, Subhadra Devi, Shubhadra Alolana Vyagra, Namostute, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. Gundicha Ratayatradi Mahotsava Vivardhana, Bhaktavatsala Vandetvam Gundicha Ratamandanam. O Lord, with the Rathayatra's journey to Gundicha and other festivals, you increase the happiness of the devotees. Mahotsava Vivardhana. O decoration of the Rathayatra chariot, O Lord, who is very kind and affectionate to your devotees, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. Bhaktavatsala Vande, Gundicha Rata Mandanam. Dina Hina Maha Nicha, Dayardi Kruta Manasa, Nitya Nutana Mahatmya, Darshan Chaitanya Vallabha. So you are Dina Hina Maha Nicha Dayardi Kruta Manasa. Your mind is moistened with kindness to the poor, miserable, abundant and destitute, greatly fallen souls. You are for Jagatera Nada, but for distressed people, you are the first personality to be compassionate upon. O Lord, the sight of whom and the glorification of whose quality is ever fresh, Nitya Nutana Mahatmya Darshan, is Chaitanya Vallabha, who is very dear to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Namostute, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. So always the mood of the devotee is glorifying the Lord for his pastimes, for his compassionate nature. So here also, like Sati is also praying to Lord Shiva, being a Ashutosha who becomes very pacified, who is compassionate towards Dina Hina, for the weak, trodden, for the distressed, for women, for children. So in that way, please excuse us, Sati is praying to Lord Shiva. What happened situation further, we will see in the next verses. I'll stop here. Any questions or doubts? Grandhara